Today Rockstar added more new content to Red Dead Online than during the whole year of 2023. And it's actually quite interesting because there is no downloadable patch, this new content was already in the game files, today it was just activated, and it was in the game files for years now, but we're gonna talk about this later. First let me tell you about this new content. First of all, there are 3 new Halloween Call to Arms maps. You can find them by opening left menu, choosing Telegrams, then All Hallows Call to Arms, and there you will see 3 new maps: Deni Plantation, Tumbleweed and Sisika Penitentiary. As you can see, all other Halloween Call to Arms maps from the previous years were removed. I don't know if they will return or till the end of this year's Halloween event we will be able to play only these new maps, but having only 3 available Call to Arms maps in the game is actually a good thing for beginners because it increases your chances to find some companions. On the other hand, I wanted to replay some of the older Halloween Call to Arms maps, so I hope they will return at some point. Anyway, I tested all 3 new maps and here are my first impressions. First of all, Deni Plantation. This map is pretty big, there are a lot of open spaces, you can get on the roof, so I would say this map is pretty easy. You can always keep the distance with enemies, there are a lot of places to hide, you can kill all the enemies from the roof using Carcano rifle, so this map should not be a problem, and if you are a beginner and only trying Call to Arms, I suggest you to start with this map. Obviously don't do it solo if you are a beginner, Call to Arms is not really solo friendly, so just find some friends. And remember, there are double payouts including gold for Call to Arms this month. Anyway, second map is Tumbleweed, but it's not the whole Tumbleweed, only the center of it. Area where you can go is pretty limited, but still it's a medium-sized Call to Arms map. It's more challenging than Deni Plantation, but much less challenging than, let's say, Deni Graveyard. But overall it's a fun map with a lot of action, and it reminds me of a Limpan map from the last year. By the way guys, I'm not making spoilers about any special enemies that will wait for you on later waves, because in my opinion these special enemies and surprise enemies is the best part of a Call to Arms, and I enjoy completing Call to Arms for the first time, mostly because I don't know what to expect when the wave begins, especially on the later stages. Anyway, the last map is the most interesting. I'm talking about Sisika Penitentiary. As you probably know, it's impossible to get to Sisika Penitentiary in Red Dead Online's free mode. You still can get there with help of some glitches in legendary bounty missions, but in a free mode it's just impossible to get to this island. And that's why I think that it's really cool to get some activity on Sisika Island. We had some PvP modes before on Sisika Penitentiary, and now we have Call to Arms. And by the way, this Call to Arms map is really challenging. You need to defend the fort itself, again pretty limited area, so it really reminds me of Deni Graveyard Call to Arms. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna be as challenging, I will test it later on my streams, but so far it looks like a very fun mission. By the way, if you glitch to Sisika Penitentiary in a legendary bounty mission, this basement will be glitched as well, it's not working properly, but in this Call to Arms map it works absolutely fine. You can go through this basement and, fight enemies there as well. Anyway, Sisika looks like the best new Call to Arms map to me, and I'm pretty sure that I will spend a lot of time trying to complete it solo. So we have 3 new special Halloween Call to Arms maps, and it's really nice for players like me who love to play Call to Arms, especially solo, but that's not the all new content. We also will receive 3 new maps for Dead of Night. It's a PvE/PvP event that can be found in a featured PvP series. This week there should be hardcore version of Dead of Night, by the way, and it's extremely good for beginners because no tonics, no ability cards, and everyone is equal. It's all about your skill. Unfortunately, for some reason I'm still finding Fear of the Dark mode in a featured PvP series. I don't know, it should be updated later today. It's weird because I already have new Call to Arms maps in my game for a few hours now, but featured PvP series was not changed yet. And I don't really like Fear of the Dark mode, I like Dead of Night much more. In my opinion, it's much more interesting mode. But anyway, remember that there are triple money experience and the most importantly gold for these modes that can be found in a featured PvP series, and it's a great way for beginners to earn a lot of gold, especially when there are hardcore versions of these Halloween PvP events, which happens this and next week. So today we received new Halloween Call to Arms maps and new Halloween PvP maps, and it's great, but you know what's weird? All this new content was in the game files for years now. At some point, probably around Blood Money update, they added a lot of stuff to the game like Call to Arms maps, Telegram missions, new PvP maps and so on, but decided to lock it, just to activate it years later and make it look like a new content. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that much more missions, including Telegram missions and Call to Arms maps, are still waiting in the game files. For example, a lot of voice lines from unreleased Telegram missions were found by data miners long time ago, and still these Telegram missions were not activated, were not released. Also, I'm pretty sure that a lot of Call to Arms maps are waiting in the game files. For example, I guess this December we will receive new winter Call to Arms maps, just like it happened last year. So it's really weird that Rockstar made a lot of new content in advance and just decided to hide it in the game files for years. But why? Obviously because in 2021 they already knew that they will abandon Red Dead Online and that there will be no content updates, real DLCs in 2022 and 2023. But why do they even need to release these new small pieces of content time to time? Well, I have two theories here. First one is realistic and second one is a little bit optimistic. Okay, not a little bit, it's pure copium, but I will tell it anyway. The realistic one is they want to pretend that they support this game, because not everybody knows that this game was abandoned completely. Beginners don't know it, Take-Two's shareholders don't know it, so this way time to time they release a small piece of content like in Telegram mission and it looks like the game is being supported and not dead. So this way Rockstar are shutting down Red Dead Online, but slowly, not immediately, so this way they can earn more money from new players and make less drama. And I repeat, I think that is the case. But there is a second option as well. What if they wanted to keep the game alive before releasing something significant? And by something significant I mean next-gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2. And we know for sure from recent leaks from Xbox that Rockstar were planning to release next-gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2 somewhere in the end of 2022. Now it didn't happen and we don't know if it was cancelled or just delayed, but they were working on next-gen version and maybe that's why they decided to drip feed all this content until next-gen version will be ready. But it's just a theory. Anyway, new Call to Arms is here, and if you're looking for a Call to Arms guide with tips and tricks, I suggest you to go and check the video that you can see on your screen now. With that being said, stay safe, stay healthy, goodbye.